morning, coming to you live on Sunday, January 20th, 2019 at 0500 hours and 33 minutes. Okay, everybody, nobody's talking about this government show. Nobody's saying it. Why? Where are all you? This is why I don't do the woke and the conscious. These Hebrew Israelite people. Not one person talking about the reason for the government shutdown. We all lollygagging around it. I don't understand the reason why we are talking about the government shutdown. This is the same as the 9/11 recession and the recession that brought about a lot of things. We got to start thinking about every time there's a recession, what laws are applied, what rules are changed. And the reason I say this, titled The New World Order, the Supreme Order. Why is nobody talking about this anymore? Because that's what is being implemented. Remember, I used to state, I thought we was at the 22nd order. But according to orders, there's up to 60 to 80 orders, but only start spiritually understanding in 5 years. So I was only up to the 24th order. And I didn't really go over because I didn't want to only talked about the main ones. If you can check my lives, which I do have a lot of them, I'll have to do a lot of deleting and put my playlist in order because I got to get to a laptop or computer and then take a couple of days or like here and there each week, a couple of days out of that week while I'm doing other things to put my videos in order to show you what's going on. But this one was predicated for the society. The Supreme Order has been finally, what you call that? If coming from the top. It came from the top to implement. That's why Donald Trump was needed to be put in office. Everybody wanted to bash Barack Obama, the first man of color in our history that's on file as a president. Because remember, there was other presidents. But I want to tell people that's not true. You got to do your research. They didn't classify those people as presidents. That was our first governing body officials. Let's get it right. The first 7 people that we call presidents were our first government body officials. The example is Rosa Parks was the first person to sit on the bus to make action. Without Rosa Parks, that's just as an example. I'm not gonna get into detail what I think about all of that, everything. That's why I don't talk about certain things because I just want to give y'all the meat. We don't need the side dishes. Things just like as me finding out Les Nubian, the women group was 2 African descendant women. They helped the African. That's why we see so many gay people. Let me talk about because this is the understanding of the New World Order. This is how things work. It's an agenda and propaganda. It's a ruse, RUEL, not rules, because there's rules that when you fill out orders. There's policy, rules, and regulations that they have to follow. There are certain things they have to do. They have to implement it. So to make sure we are weak spiritually, we need homosexuality. Homosexuality weakens your naturalness of your manhood. See, that's why I told you I hate the words zeta, beta. So we use alpha and beta male. I hate that. Feminine and masculine. It's either the only 2 things on this earth that's true since the beginning of time was there is a male and there's a female. That's the only true thing since we've been here. That's the only thing that procreated a new life. We needed don't matter. It could be an insect, an animal, us, the beings. I don't call us human beings or Homo sapiens or species because that's classification. If you want to say we're all the same, we're not all the same. So I'm not going to get off topic. So helping you understand what's going on in the rules. So the propaganda propaganda, excuse my word, when I say certain words, subliminal messages. They needed that. Less is abbreviation for lesbian, Nubian for queen. So lesbian, Nubian queen, lesbian, black Nubian queen. That's why everywhere we go, every black woman think it's okay to be gay. That's why it was more accepted because that was the first attack. You have to destroy the woman. I'm gonna keep saying this, and women not getting it. A lot of them not gonna take it as an attack because I'm explaining it. If you destroy the womb, man was not first. Woman's first. Why? How would a person with a womb create life that have give her life to give life come from a person that only has a seed? And if anything, they was created together, not one at a time. So that's stupid. And then if we actually study, and I want you to start doing this because this is why the New World Order and the Supreme Order is working. If you study the history of man, the original people that we call God that had the Garden of Eden, that's not the real name. He had daughters too. That's why it's the Ma and the Pa, the mother and father. And he had daughters. He had a wife. Adam and Eve had a daughter, had two daughters, not two sons. And then if you think about the name, I keep saying this, people do your research. Cain, can you do it? And Abel, you are able. That's why that example of can you do it? He said, no, I'm not giving you. I don't want you. I don't want to do it. And Abel was saying, yes, I am able to do it. Think about the words. Words are very powerful. And we stopped doing that. That's why on television and these industries, what I learned the enemy have to do, I was the art of war, the enemy have to tell you what is coming. When there is war, there is no such thing as terrorism that is ran by the government in each abiding official city. So if you look at America, when there's a terrorist attack, every known official senator know that every top senator for each state, especially in that state, know is going to happen. That's the art of war. It's a strategy because it's called terrorism. Who are you terrorizing? The people that's lesser. They bred us, fostered and nurtured us to believe we're lesser than them. But if we actually understood real power comes in groups. Power don't come alone. Power never came by itself. Riches never came by itself. It came with the multitude of people. Do not forsake the assembly. There is things that is true because it's 30% truth. If you take all the religions, go to all the truths in every religion, 30%, 25 to 30% of the religion is true because it's not religion. It's part of society understanding. It's by design. So the man and woman, if you take away woman, you take away man because you're going to need woman to act as man. And then eventually the man has to act as woman. So they destroy the woman to get the power back. I know that sounds stupid. That sound like the Matrix. It's a trans. Know what trans? Look the word trans. It's the reverse of, and then to bring it back. So they're trying to reverse everything and bring it back. So the implementing of the New World Order is going into Supreme Order. It's the ultimate order now. This was with the government shutdown. That's why I say I hate listening to conscious and the conscious people and the woke people. You are aware or you not? Nobody's talking about this. Every post I see about the government shutdown, it's an act of terrorism. It's to scare you. That's what terrorism does. It's to scare you. So as it keep trying to scare you, you start losing sight. Think about a shooting. I catch the public transportation. My mother said it's not even safe to ride the metro. And I said, hold on. No offense to the young lady in my city that got shot up. I was like, damn, what was she doing that somebody wanted to come after her on the damn metro? They couldn't wait till she get home. I'm not scared by catching the metro. That's my former. You're not going to scare me into submission. And that's what they're doing to our African. They made us think we're dangerous. We're African descendant, quote unquote, black men. So our African descendant, quote unquote, black women made us think we're the most dangerous. But why there's white men out there chopping off their women heads for leaving them, for killing their whole family for getting fired. Imagine if every other race had to go through what we went through. You think they're still you see it in the news. Arabic people blowing themselves up. They believe in they feel they're extremists to the point where they'll blow themselves up in their belief. Well, your beliefs is not supposed to blow people up. Your belief should have you only defending people. They don't need to defend their women. I'll look at them and laugh. I walked in the store. It was these cute young African descendant young women. One looked at me and gave me like an ugly face. Then this ugly old Arabic dude, she's like, "Oh, he looked good as hell." Then to look at me, I just smiled at her, and that threw her brain off because I said, "You a lost young lady." It's a song. That's the song, "Lost Little Girl." They made our young girls lost. If you destroyed a mother, you destroyed a young man. So the young men's growing up because they took the fathers from the home. So if you don't make my mother strong, my mother could have took all these people, kids, and raised them. They wouldn't be that. They would be better than me, or they would apply themselves. Even it's the funny thing. We think education is going to save us. No, you have gold. Your chains may have been of wood. No, now your chains is of platinum and gold. You still in the same shackles as you was. As I stated, we not free because you got a better income. Even people that have business and travel, you are free once you know who you are. Try something different. If you a young man that grew up in a bad neighborhood, go try going. Watch how hard it is for you to go in this neighborhood and say, "Yo, man, I know you seen me selling drugs in the block." Dude to pull out the strap on them and say, "Get the hell out of my face." That's you actually waking up. That's when you know now if you want to quote unquote say the matrix, that's when you know you woke up from the matrix because you're no longer saying that what I did was okay. You went back and fixed, or you tried to help, you tried to bring back what you never had. That's when we are awake and conscious, we start bringing back. I never had a community. So my mission for me, and why this other things is going on, that's why I'm not scared. Because I know if I can get this young African descendant, young man, and this young woman to think, especially him, I don't want to be a rapper. I want to be an engineer. If she a girl, I don't want to shake my booty and be a stripper. I don't need to be a stripper to do my diamond way. I don't got to do the players club to go to school. I can go look at these resources that they have. These companies are giving these children grants. I don't never hear this online being talked about. I don't never hear it being taught. And every time I hear a black, quote unquote, African descendant person, quote unquote, black person talk online, it's the same bull crap. It's the same one. The one lady said she do real estate, say, "Why would I give away $1 million questions online?" So what the hell you online for, young lady? And that's what I asked her. They don't respond to me. They don't never respond to me. Because I'm going to ask them, just like this one dude finally started doing good. He was charging people $1,000. I said, "Dude, what you about to try to explain to me?" I said, "Good thing I'm wise enough, not because of even my age, because he was 22. I said at 22, I wasn't that dumb. And a lot of people, and you know what I did? And at that time, it was like perfect timing because it was fresh in my head. A lot of people comment to me. You know what I did? I said, go to the library, go read certain books. Because I guarantee you, he read the same books. They came back when they listened to this fool. They was saying the same thing. He had no original thought. Now you don't even see him because you know what he had to do. He had to join a supreme order. He had to join the industry. He had to sign a contract, or he probably realized, he probably didn't. He probably realized this is not worth. Because when you sign these supreme order contracts, I'm going to tell you this is how it go. I've been approached multiple times. You have to say money is your God. You have to live a life. You have to wear a designated item, clothing item that they give you. You have to make signs in public. It's not the Illuminati is not changed. It's the New World Order. That's what it is. It didn't change. It's the mafia. They all working together. The Freemasons, the popes, the presidency, the senators, Our electing officials, our judges, they all work together. They're, if you look at the tree of the pyramid, that's why they need a pyramid to let you know I am at the hierarchy, you are at the middle, and you're the lower. And then there's men out there that, and I have to be mindful, even listening to the videos that's similar to Think and Grow Rich. They don't talk about money, but they talk about the human. Now I'm going to use this word consciousness or subconscious. It talks about how if you can change your paradigm, you can change your life. I'm a type of person where I don't send it to a lot of people. Only send it to people that I'm talking to. If I just met you and I know you need to hear it, I'll listen to it and then I will break it down. Whatever you read and do. So if you read in the Bible, if you read in Taoism, Buddhism, the Torah, the Quran, you should be able to break everything down in words because all these words have definition. They're defined. Some things are not definable, such as how you should have a love life. You and that person, as a word I'm saying, building, creating, and forming, you start a foundation with that person. That's separate. That right there, you should never take the all the way advice or steps to be with a person you're going to love because somebody else's way of love is different. If me and this lady choose to not wait till we get married to have intimate relations because we feel the love, if we get married in 2 years, not just the earthly marriage, marriage in our heart, the marriage in our mind, what we want it to be. If we waited 8 years, that's 8 years for us. Some people might want to do it in 3 and 4 years because I learned commitments start in the heart and the mind. Anything start, if you look at all things that you want to do in your life, where did it start from? In your mind. What did it seep down to your heart? Sometimes it started in your heart, then it went to your mind. But if those two things are not aligned, then you won't get it. I'm going to do a live on that. You write that down before because it's things that come to me that I know I'm supposed to do, and I'll be like, what was I supposed to do? The mind and the heart. So you got to understand what's going on. What's going on is not just so simple. It's not so easy. It's all the tricks, all the propaganda, and nobody's talking about it. See, and that's the trick. Why won't you say it? Because they don't have to, because they already said it. But a person as I am, I'm not the most highest spiritual person, but that's why sometimes I do my lives so early or my recordings that turn into lives because these are more visions and dreams and things that I have been pondering on over time. Or it's just a reawakening, a reawareness of saying, hey, give this to the people because you have it, you understand it. And a lot of the people that's doing this are not rich. We are not the average everyday people. You might gravitate to certain people because that's who you need to be around. But the world tell you they're weird. I say I'm weird. Then they say, don't call me weird and we're quirky. Don't call me quirky. Yes, we are. We're quirky and weird because you know why? Because we're normal. Normal and quirky people. I mean, quirky and weird people are most like they are normal. You know why we're normal? You are normal too. You know why you are normal? Because what they trying to call you not normal, they trying to make everything, they trying to tell you a person that think that their penis don't matter, their vagina don't matter anymore. I can go without love. So you want me to think you really know who you are, but you denying yourself. But then in your denial, this is what's going to happen to your body. You're going to come unhealthy. Unhealthy sexuality is just as bad as an unhealthy heart, unhealthy lungs. Smoking and marijuana, it's unhealthy. So, and they want to say, oh, it's health. No, marijuana created 1,000 years ago was not laced and it was not crossbreeded with other plants. Just as there's a ghost pepper, the hottest pepper in the world. It give out the most degrees in your mouth, the heat, because after effects. That ghost pepper was crossbreeded. See, that's why we're breeded into this. We're birthed, not conceived. We're birthed into this iniquity, the errors of that's already presented before us. So if you look at that, if they crossbreed in a ghost pepper, What you think marijuana is? Marijuana is no longer its original marijuana, so it has substance and chemical and things and that would imbalance you. They the research which a young man done and I checked it out. He was correct. We keep saying marijuana is not bad. Marijuana, just an example. It's not this. Marijuana is not that. Okay, having one marijuana blunt, the so-called what we call loud, is just as bad as smoking 5 to 10 cigarettes. You can do the research. And someone asked me, what have accidents marijuana have caused? Well, when people are DUI under the influence, that's not alcohol. And there have been many caught because what your mind tend to do is slow down. Your mind, you think you okay because you're moving people, but people that sober, I'll be watching you. I never did it, so I'm thankful. I'm grateful to not be addicted to weed smoking. And I'm learning a lot of women are doing it. It's covering up their pain because they've been through a lot of pain. And yes, I have to say this: a woman's choice and the man she chooses is the reason because it's going back to the woman of being accountable and responsible. So the new world order is being implemented. Forget this stupid wall. Our president is illiterate. He became president. We took money over morals and ethics. So don't say white people voted him in. Black people voted for him too. The ones that's lost, those are lost sheep. And I would never call myself humble. If you look up humility, meek, and sheep, look up all those three things. There's no honor in none of those three things. That's why I don't go listen to religious people after a while. I don't care what their stance. They can be a pastor, they can be a bishop. They can sound so profound. But and even in so profound, you can't tell me my sight. You cannot tell me my sight is not truer than what I can't see. And then and start challenging people on the things that they believe in. And if a person say, I don't want to talk about it, leave that person alone. Because them are the people that's going to be easily led into destruction. If you notice, people that are easily led in destruction, they don't read. If people actually sat down and read the actual Quran and Torah and the Bible, they'll see a lot of the errors. That's why I stopped being religious. I want to be able to see errors because you know what it's going to tell you. Don't be overzealous. Don't be bragging on what you love. Don't have pride. So if you worked hard for what you have, and they tell me don't be overexuberated, so don't be zealous, excited, like aspirated. Those great words. Don't feel so highly of the strong work and abilities that you had and use your power towards it. That's your abilities. Don't be over excited. For real? For real. Okay. I'm gonna really listen to think that's what I tell people. Think about what you're reading. A lot of people won't think about what they're reading. They love the nuances of what they're reading and listening to because it sounds good. But in reality, let me go play this out first. Let's see how this acts. Let's see how this goes. And if it's not working, why would I keep doing it? Why would I keep praying, which I know is not working for me? But it's a faith. And then the thing is a faith without works is dead. So the enemy have more faith than me. The enemy, that's why the New World Order, the Supreme Order is going to work. They have more faith in us. And the one thing I want to get across too, another thing, is the enemy studies you. They watch you where you go home. They watch what you eat. They watch everything you do. What do the so-called good people do? We just mind our business and go about our day. But soon as there is a new thing to change, we was like, why do bad things happen to good people? Well, for one, that good person was not aware of their surroundings. I can tell you that right off the bat. That person that got shot, that does nothing, probably had the headphones in their ear. One day, I lived on a street called Manhart in my city of Buffalo. Young lady was walking on the street, but I wanted to make her aware. So I followed her for 2 minutes. She didn't even know I was behind her. She jamming away on her earphone. Eventually, I was like, all right, let me just tap her because she was going my direction. I wasn't stalking her. I was walking home from another place. Let me put that in there first. But I wanted to see if she really know. I thought maybe she went down the other street. I wouldn't have followed her down the other street. But she was going my direction. Then finally got close enough to my house. I finally tapped her. She's like, oh, she got all shocked and surprised. I said, excuse me, young lady. She was beautiful. I didn't expect her to be that beautiful. And I said, I've been going the same direction as you for a while. I live because I was close to my street. It was like where I was at. It was like we was right here. My street was diagonally like a couple more, so many steps away. It wasn't even a block away. So she didn't even realize I was behind her for almost 2 minutes. It had to be 2 minutes or at least a minute. And I told her, don't ever do that to yourself. And that's the things I do. I make them. I talk to the young men. There's so many young African descendant young men out there that have dreams, but they don't have no direction. They have no guidance. They're turning ninth. These young men are turning the age, but then the ones, and this is our society. My nephew that never thought I was cool, but when his friends came around, you know what they didn't have? They didn't have this uncle saying, "Hey, let's go play video games. Let's go throw the football," or giving them some education. Let's study together. I guarantee you, if I'd have met one of them young men at a younger age, and that's the stuff I wanted to bring that up because that was in my heart too. We take a lot of things we regret. We gonna regret later. We take it for granted. That's why this shutdown, the New World Order, the Supreme Order, don't take people that's helping you for granted. Think about all the people that you surrounded that you made a help and they love talking to you and they might be annoying or irritant at some parts. Just be mindful of these people. Be mindful of those other people that want to know your business. You on social media, stop. Stop posting everything on social media. And it's an abundance, especially on Instagram. It's abundance of lost young women. They know some of them even know they're lost. That's how bad it is. And we don't have there's not being funny. It seems as if I Google black men communities or it's more of that. But it's rare that I see black women, quote unquote black society where there's programs. The only programs I see is now this is what's about to be affected. These government programs. It's not a straight program where there's African descendant women just raising money for Africa. It's men. We have black men run in the new one and one man, fathers fit, even single men can join. We do the Big Brother program. And I can give you the links. We have these centers. All these centers have men, but I learned as a man, which it was going to be weird. I need a woman to help me. I need a willing, able-bodied woman that's in her right mind to help, because we need these programs for our young women. Because our missionaries that I don't blast no religion. I blast the certain things about it, the certain contradictions and the hypocrisies of it and the bigotry of it. I'm going to use those words because that's the word we use. That's the word y'all know what they are. We're ignorant of a lot of things. That there are these missionaries. There's no young missionaries, and that's another thing. There's still older African descendant missionary men. So there's men that, as me out there, my friend I got 5 guys that I know that goes out that's either in a real program that's helping these men and only know one woman. That's crazy. And we wondering why society's our way because our women. The women not being funny is helping destroy the men. Well, of course, and when you see the Caucus society, it's kind of harder. The Arabic society, because they had toppled it. African descendant men, we're mad at our women, but we won't. If a woman on the ground and is a real dire need, we the only race of men that'll still help a woman up. See, they're doing it for what you call that when you're trying to get something out of them. I see a Caucus men call an African descendant woman beautiful just on the sake just to get some booty. It has nothing to do with because he loved her. But when you get with these African descendant men, that's we're like, well, we love y'all. We have to say that. They never have a group of them. This is the funny part. And this is why I laugh at our race when it comes to relationships. Because the African descendant men can tell African descendant women they love them all day. A group as a whole, we can say it. 1,000 of us can say it. So we can get a group and we can make videos. But you know, one thing that Caucus men never have to do because they got them locked. A group of Caucus men, only one. If one Caucus man walk up into a room, a bar, a meeting place, a place where that woman can see him, our African, he got to just tell her she's beautiful and he got her. We doing it because our own. See how we don't even appreciate our own race anymore. I want to do that again. Do a live on that. Appreciation of your own race. We don't even appreciate our own color anymore. We don't appreciate ourselves. That's why it's. That's why I don't get into it with with women. Sometimes I don't even talk to them because it's a lot of things. I'm gonna bring up things that is done. I'm not doing it in comparison. I'm doing it just to open our eyes and see. And if you go back and watch a lot of my videos and start looking at what I'm really saying, read the titles, and read some of the descriptions and read some of my comments. Cause I write comments because sometimes I'm not able, and then sometimes I'll be thinking I should because they don't allow me on a lot of those videos. They're not allowing me to form or to reformat, or they're not allowing me to do certain things. I had to delete a couple of videos in the last 3 months because, or they'll freeze my video. It's funny. Every time I'm about to do something, speak on something great, like synopsis of African American people and white people, what is wrong? Why won't they help us? I had so much trouble with that live. I thought it was my phone. But look at here, right now, I'm talking about this because they're okay with it. I had not one problem with my live. It didn't reconnect. Now you get that circle. It's not doing nothing wrong. But it's funny though. I learned the stuff that when you actually step out of the box to talk about, that people are going to have problems with it. And you got to be okay. I have to, if I sound crazy to people, I'm okay with sounding crazy. But I'm making people aware. I'm challenging you. That was my whole purpose of ever doing a live. I want to challenge and guide people into a truth. Like go find out who you are. People like, I know me. No, you don't. Because if you knew who you are, why are you so quick to turn your eyes a different direction when you should be helping? That's breaking. That's helping and assisting to me is showing me you are broke free from this world system. Because that is something we're not taught. We're not. That's one thing that the world never tell you to do is help. It tell you to look out. It tell you to do certain things, but it tell you to stop helping to become who you want to become. You don't have to stop doing anything that's in you to get to know who you are. So what I say unto one, I say unto all, it's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Please, please, please choose wisely. You have a purpose. So that's under your focus. And then is your mission and position. You have the power already. You just have to access it, activate it, and apply it. The power is only in the direction you tell it to go. But if you tell it to do nothing, guess what it's going to do? Nothing. You have the ability. In order for that ability to work, you have to use it. Whatever it is, I don't know you. You barely know me. You probably know nothing about me unless you know me or talk to me personally. Because I will open up to anybody. I would open up to the people. That's the supreme order. I've done that. Oh yeah, sorry, and I didn't get on that. I'm going to do separate lives, and the creator did tell me this. That's probably why when I get into it, I'll leave it. I don't want to talk about what you have to do to get in, but I want you to know that if you really on your P's and Q's, that's why I ask people, and they don't really, they don't. I tell them, like people that join Freemasons, the so-called Illuminati, to me, even because LeBron James is part of it, which we don't know. because I give a lot of statements about things, and I love LeBron James as a basketball player and a man, African descendant man, but he's part of it too. And if he wasn't, it's kind of weird because he was throwing up the signs, he wore the clothes. I remember the Morris brothers came to one of the games with LeBron. The recent lady took in the picture, she was part of it. She's a African descendant lady. That's why the you see she ain't have on no VIP tag. She had on a certain type of shirt, and she threw up the sign when she took up the picture with LeBron. I'm gonna leave it at that. And the reason African descendant people are doing that, these movies are no longer a lie. They're telling us what's going on. Here's a quick insight. I'm going to give you a couple of movies for you to pay attention to, and they're not movies. Because when you have to, Illuminati mean children of the light, the great revelationers. They have to reveal what they're doing. That's the name they're using in this era. We came up with the Illuminati. The names have changed, just as religion have changed. 50 years ago, we didn't celebrate holidays. 50 years from now, we're celebrating holidays. Come on now. It was satanic and evil. Now it means something. That's why I say religion is a joke. We didn't celebrate Easter. Religion, I even Googled that. I Googled that and went to the library. Religion didn't celebrate Easter. They didn't celebrate the Christmas. They didn't call it the day that Jesus woke up and he risen on Easter, Resurrection Sunday. They didn't call it that. They did not call it that. So how all of a sudden we calling Easter Resurrection Sunday? That's the dumbest. That's dumb. I'm sorry. If you can go back and you can read that and it tell me we did not celebrate that. And the religions didn't celebrate it. Now all they had a thing called Resurrection Sunday. Where did this come from? They told us this is how it's going to go. So until we realize it's being implemented. The movies to watch is Alien, the what is it called? Rebirth. The newer Alien, like Predator movie. Not Predator, Alien. They made Predator a parody now. It's like a comedy type of one. They fighting the Predator. They seeking out the Predator this time. But this time it's like a comedy and they laughing and they making that's not true. Because you know what they originally did? The Predator, to me, if you watch the newer Predator, what ethnicity is not in that movie? There's not an African descendant man, but there's African descendant women. Think about that. There's one race, a combined nationality and ethnicity of all races in that movie. Except anything that's strong in African descent blood or African blood in that movie. Our woman she's a brown skinned woman. She's not even a dark skinned woman. And I found that very alarming. The main women that's bashed, beat up, and that was degraded by the enslavers, the conquerors, are the dark-skinned black women. They've been doing that to me in the time. When I get better at using these electronics and get better phones and devices, I'm gonna have slideshows and start really, really showing us that because we love to think just the black man. If you look at why slavery ended, it was because of a black woman. They don't know their power. Why interracial, intermingling relationship and marriage happened because it was because of a black woman. And it's not to diss the black woman. I'm trying to let black women know, quote unquote black, that their power is super strong, and they diluted them so bad they destroyed the black man, the quote unquote black man. That's in America. That's how they're going to take over. How do you take over? From the inside, the womb, out, the brain, to the outside, the men. So you have a good day. Think about a lot of these things I'm saying. The movie is the Alien movie. Then the other movie, the new movie about the worlds, it's no black people in the movies. If you start watching those movies and start being aware, I enjoy these movies, but at the same time, I'm able to do both because I'm already aware of what's going on. Some people are not. So if you are new, welcome to learning who you are and trying to know who you are, and keep looking, keep searching. It's there. You'll be aware of it. Don't let your day go by without you learning one thing. Shalom.